let's put a front stoop in. Or should we? Welcome to Life on the Moose. Welcome back if you've been here before. If this is the very first time you've ever seen this channel, you're in luck because today's episode, absolutely free. That's a good thing. Gorgeous sunny day out. It's a little bit warmer. We're creeping up for the next couple of weeks. It's supposed to be kind of back to normal. So today's high is in the 40s, I think. Okay, let's put a front stoop in. Or should we? I woke up this morning thinking, okay, I'm going to put this little 3x3 foot stoop like we talked about, and maybe a step up to get to that. I figured easy peasy, right? I'll be done in no time, get this video wrapped up today. That'd be good for me. And then I decided to change everything. Instead of a 3x3 foot stoop that we are going to attach to the building, I think I made reference about not wanting to put a big porch and whatnot and attach a bigger footprint to the building because of permitting and silly little things like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a deck of sorts, freestanding, 8 feet long and 3 feet wide, basically a similar size as the awning, but it'll sit on the ground. It'll be freestanding. What does that mean? That means more work. Remember that episode I was talking about how everything takes a lot more work than you think it does originally? No exception here. One thing we have to do, underneath the door there, I intentionally left that steel off with the thoughts of attaching a ledger board there. I'm not going to do that now. So I'm going to put steel under there. Of course, it doesn't match up perfectly to the ribs we have. So everything on that side of the door, I am going to remove. It's a total of 18 screws I counted. So I'm going to take those screws out. I do have 2 extra sheets of that 40-inch steel, so it'll work out perfect. So I'm basically going to start at the right of the door there and work my way over this way. That's just the right thing to do, I guess. And then we'll build that deck. The deck is going to be basically a box. It'll be a 3x8 foot box. I'm going to build on treated 2x6s. On top, I'm going to put cedar. So what do you want to do first? Do you want to level off the ground here, or do you want to remove that steel? You probably don't want to do either of these. Well, I'm going to quickly replace this steel, get it under the doorway, and do what I need to do there. There's always something, right? Let's get to work. Okay, it's on. Now I'm going to level off this area right in front of the building. It's a little bit wonky, and there's a little high spot right in front that needs to be taken down, and I'll push some of this dirt over there where it gets low. So we'll straighten it all out, get ready to build that deck. Holy cow, it's 1 o'clock already. Man, these change orders take a long time. Okay, I have the dirt where I want it right now. Not sure you can see that, but what I did is I went out about 4 feet and I made sure from that point it angles up to the cabin. Now, it's not that critical. I mean, if you're on a basement or an enclosed crawl space where you worry about trapping water, that's one thing. Here, if there is ever any water, it's just going to drain right out the back because that end is off the ground about 2 feet plus, and this end about 6 inches, give or take. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't an excess amount of water building up right in front or right where the deck is going to go. Now we're ready to build that deck. My stomach is not ready to build that deck. It's 1:45. I missed lunch. So I'm going to take a little break and have some lunch. I'm going to have some world famous bear chili. Have you ever had bear chili before? Have you ever eaten bear before? It's surprisingly delicious. All right, let's warm up some chili. Well, I know you guys are just giddy with anticipation about that chili I'm making, but I have some bad news. I got some good news too. The bad news is I forgot a pan to heat it up, but I happen to have a little metal bowl here. So that's what I'm going to use. Oh, it's getting warm. Looks like it's ready to boil. There it is, bowl of piping hot chili. What's that in the chili, you ask? Bread. Have you ever put bread in chili? I know people put corn chips and onions and cheese and things like that. I grew up in the Midwest, and I grew up with homemade bread all the time. And we had bread with a lot of stuff. Chili's one of them. So what do you put in your chili? Is there anything interesting that you put in your chili that maybe most people haven't thought of before? Hot, hot, hot. Woo. Okay, I'm going to make my 3x8 frame out of this treated wood right here. And we have two 12s and an 8. Actually, this one is cut at 3 inches less than 8, because once I put the ends on, that'll be an even 8. These are 12 footers here, and I got to cut the 8 footers out of them, actually 7 feet 9 inches. And then I'll take the other end and cut my 3 footers. Typically with a deck, what you do is you put the ledger against the house, and then the joists come out of that. This is so narrow, and it's freestanding. So I'm actually going to have the deck boards go the other direction. So the deck boards are going to go out from the cabin 3 feet long each, because I bought some 12-foot cedar. And I don't want to waste any. That way I can get 4 pieces out of each 12-footer. All right. It'll look great when it's done. Trust me. Let's cut these and get going. It's getting chilly. The sun is behind these trees right here. Man, that makes a difference. 3 feet. And if you're curious why I'm not building this deck since it's freestanding, why not make it as big as I want? Well, I don't have a lot of room around this cabin. And the other reason is the awning is 40 inches long. At an angle, it sticks out from the cabin about 38 inches. So there's no point in making this thing 6 feet wide and having snow and rain fall on the middle of your deck. We're going to have a separate gazebo style outdoor kitchen area, probably covered, and a flat area where you can put lounge chairs or whatever you want. So hopefully get to that in the spring sometime. All right, let's get these cut. Let's slide this over to the building and see what we have. All right, I'll get it. You stay right there. It's okay. I'll get it. It's not that heavy. Okay, there's the framework. Sits right underneath the awning. About the same size. So because this is all a little different than I had planned, I don't have the understructure figured out. So what I'm going to do is just build this up since it's not very big, not very heavy. I'm just going to stack a couple 2x4s or whatever underneath it just to get it to where I need it. And then I'll determine what I need from there. But I can't do a whole heck of a lot more than that. So let's just level that thing up right now and see where we are. Okay, the framing is in place. It's level right now. It's where it needs to sit. What we have here on this end is about 6 inches of clearance underneath that frame. And on this side, it is about 9 to 10 inches. So I don't know what for sure I'm going to do with that. I'm inclined to get a treated 6x6 or 4x4 and put it on its side and just simply embed it in the ground. I feel good about that not rotting in the near future. This one I'm not so sure about. I'll see if I can get a pier block, but I got to be able to bury it enough. And that's what's a little iffy around here. You could hit a rock at any point. You could hit the mountain at any point. I mean, you see around me the rocks that are part of the mountain sticking out of the mountain. It just depends on what I find when I dig under there. Either way, I don't have what I need to do this because I changed plans. Way to go, Patrick. Therefore, I'm not going to be able to finish this video tonight. Gosh darn it. I know you were just wanting me to wrap this up like right now. Okay, well, I'm going to put my thinking cap on, see what I have back at Red Moose Ranch for supplies. I'll probably have to go to town, and I'll see you here bright and early in the morning. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Good morning. You're still here? That's a good sign. Okay, I have a plan and I'm sticking with it. Here, let me show you. Okay, on this end, I am going to bury these about halfway in the ground. So I'm going to put a 2x6 in between each joist, right about at this location. It's in front of the door. That's where the weight is going to be primarily. And that 2x6 will rest down in this slot. And on this end, what I'm going to do is put a 4x4. It's such a short span. Bury these as well. Put a 4x4 across there for a small beam, if you will, on this side. So now just keep your fingers crossed that I can dig a hole or 2 or 4. Okay, holes are dug. I think I'm getting close. What I'm going to do now is cut my 4x4 for this side and cut a couple 2x6s for this end. And then put it all back together, see what we need to do. Okay, so these two don't necessarily have to be the same height, since those brackets are adjustable. As long as they're close and just below the height I need them to be, then they'll be good to go. This one might actually be a little too deep. Yeah, that's close. That's close. That might work. This one probably needs to go a little deeper. See, this side has to go up. A little bit of the slope is good. All right, that's real close right there. We need to raise these two blocks just a little bit. About 2 inches. Okay, we are where we need to be. That right side is just a little bit lower right now, but that's perfect. So right now I'm just going to fasten down these 2x6s. Before I set that into place, I'm going to take some construction adhesive and I'm going to put a heavy bead right where this cross member is going to sit in these blocks. Okay, sitting in there nicely. Show my distance from the building. I got about 1/2 inch from the building on this closest joist here. Okay, looks good. Okay, now I just have to tighten the adjustable brackets, raise this up about 1/4 inch at the most over here, and we're good to go. Just a little bit more. I put snow in there yesterday after I made chili and just shoved it in the cabin overnight. Guess it didn't thaw too much, did it? Okay, let's have some more chili. While this is cooking, what I'm going to do is just take some dirt, kind of fill in around the blocks. Okay, we're ready for the second last step, deck boards. Here's what we have going on. I have 4 12-footers that are 2x6s, cedar. Yes, I had to mortgage our house to buy these. They're gonna look great and they're solid. So our deck is 8 feet long and each board is gonna be 3 feet long. So that means I'll be able to get 4 out of every one of these 12-footers because these are actually, they net out right now at 12 feet, half an inch. So by the time I take the kerf, the thickness of the saw blade on each cut, it'll be perfect. So 4 in each one, 4 times 4, 16. I'm gonna leave a little bit of a reveal, about a half an inch. So that means they're gonna cover 6 inches. So 16 boards covering 6 inches, 8 feet. No room for errors. Okay, let's get cutting. Okay, these are all just sitting here temporarily. So I'm going to screw in each end board, flush with the ends, flush with this side. And then from there, I'll separate all the rest of them equally. I think it's going to be a half an inch, which is the width of this pencil. Not the small way, that's a 1/4 inch, but half an inch this way. And that should be it. I'm using 3-inch deck screws for this. Self-tapping. Shouldn't have to pre-drill anything. Okay, I just thought of something to make my life a little easier. This is a fascia I'm going to put on the edges of this deck. And the top of this is going to be flush with the top of the deck boards. So why not put this on first? That way I can just take my deck boards, push them all up against here. So I'm going to put this on first. I'm actually putting 2 of these. These are also 6-inch, 5.5. So I'm going to put 2 of these stacked on top of each other, flush with the top of this. And that way it'll hide most of the block underneath as well.
Sunrise in my eyes, just like a new day, a breath of fresh air in my life. I don't know how, don't know why, but I'll be toasting all my life.
Okay, I just have it laid out. Those are not fastened yet. So I'm going to go ahead and mark where I'm going to screw, just so the screw heads are nice and tidy.
My ride sweeter to meet the one I love. I don't know how and don't know why, but I'll be toasting all my life.
Okay, they're all in place, spaced correctly, but they're not totally screwed in yet. There's 2 screws in each board, so they're not moving. So that's good. Now I can breeze through. I got 4 more to put in on each board. And then this episode is wrapped up. Oh, are you waiting for this episode to end? That's it. We have a deck. Not really a porch, not really a stoop anymore. It's a deck, freestanding, 3x8 foot deck. That's handy. It's nice not taking that big step up into the cabin all the time. Next time, we have to get those windows trimmed out and the corners trimmed out. As I mentioned, we're going to have that horizontal lap siding, and that's going to butt up against the trim around the windows. So first we're going to put flat trim around the windows, and then we're going to put a 1x2 on edge. The lap siding will butt up against that 1x2 on edge. Perfectly clear, right? I heard that the other window that's going to go up there, the little 2x2 foot window, that is expected to arrive this weekend. Well, that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate that. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Maybe the subscribe button. That'd be completely awesome. I appreciate you guys watching. It means a lot to me. So come back next week. We'll do it again. Well, not exactly the same thing. That'd be really boring video if I did the same thing every week. All right. Well, that's it. I'm out of here. Thank you guys again. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. We'll see you next week.